Okay, chat, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. So this is gonna be a bit of a different stream. Let me turn down the volume just a smidge-a-rooney. Something like that, I think that's good. Yeah, so today's stream is gonna be a little bit different. This is a stream that I feel like has been a while in the making. And I'm gonna try to cite back to it more often than not when I'm talking about collecting. So for a while, I've had various people ask for like advice on how to best try to collect, whether it's in person or online. You know, how to really go about it. And so I wanted to give some tips and kind of impart some knowledge the best way I could. We're going to be going over pretty much everything that I know. Maybe not everything. But we're going to give a good primer on eBay, as you see here. And this is... this is not my account. So I shouldn't really need to do much regarding my own stuff. I will show, I will try to show a screen from like my logged in account if I need to, for demonstration purposes. But it's going to be going over not just eBay, but like a lot of the same concepts can apply to something like Facebook Marketplace, which you do have to have a Facebook account to use. I don't know if I can even like I don't know how this is gonna show up if I don't, but I'm not even gonna try it because I don't want to like dox myself. But yeah, the thing is doing a lot of this stuff is kind of difficult to put into a stream setting because it's like, well, some of the things I have to be careful with what I do, otherwise I have to delete this whole fucking thing. So trust me when I say that like Facebook Marketplace or like something like Craigslist, not that I don't think many people use Craigslist anymore. But the same ideas will be there. I'll go over things like conventions. Conventions can be a good way to get stuff, but we'll go over that a little bit later. We'll go over thrifting, which thrift stores these days, let me tell you. And we'll go over some other shops like buy sell trade stores. I don't know what they're called other than I guess you would call them used stores. Second-hand stores, is that a better way to put it? So anyway, let me know how the music volume is. I just threw on something from the playlist. This video, for anybody that might want it, is relaxing fishing game music VHS tape. As far as I'm aware, yeah, it's just all video game OST from fishing games. A lot from whatever the hell Real Fishing is, REEL. I don't know what the fuck that game is. But, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So. I mean, yeah, it would be better for an edited video, but, like, honestly, I don't have the time to make a proper edited video. In fact, this won't even be a long stream. This will be like an hour at best, maybe an hour and a half. And then I'll go ahead and host, if my homie's live, I might go ahead and host him, but otherwise I'll be hosting probably Okami. But, anyway. Yeah, we're gonna go into it. So, I have a few just sample items, like, right here. Just so you guys can see, like, what the eBay recently viewed looks like. And, Most of these I'm not looking for, except maybe a decent Pokemon Go Plus, because I would like that. But we'll go over something common like new Nintendo 3DS XL, I guess, because at this point in time we are adults with bigger hands. So yeah, the cropping that I have specifically on the stream, it looks weird. I know it does, because it's so freaking wide. It's like watching a fucking movie or something. But it's specifically this way so you guys can see exactly how you can get 10% off on eBay by cruising into summer. No, it's so you can actually see exactly what the UI is like on eBay, minus whatever taskbar you have / search bar. Hey, nice! Congrats, Ren. Love to hear it. As you can see all along here, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff to get into. It might scare somebody off if they're not really familiar with it. So, related, if you know what you're looking for, ignore this bar entirely. Forget it exists. It's just as simple as that. You can save a search, and then it'll ask to basically send you emails for when new things come up. So, eBay will send a message that says, new Nintendo 3DS XL, 10 new listings or something, and they'll do that once, maybe twice a day. Usually once per item is what I get. I normally get them in the morning. We'll go over this stuff in a minute because this is going to be the big section. The category, you don't really need to look into. For the most part, again, if you know what you're looking for, then this is going to be kind of redundant because you can just keyword in most of what it is. So, like, if you're looking for like a strategy guide, for example, like I don't know, Halo 2 strategy. If I can type, holy crap. Obviously, it's not going to be in video game consoles, you know? Books and magazines it comes up with. Like, it understands more or less what you're looking for. But, you know, the category really doesn't matter. That's interesting. That's not my zip code, but that's, like, eerily close. There's different methods of how to get something. Plenty of people will have something along the lines of like just shipping. Sometimes people will have local pickup, so you can look for local pickup within whatever distance. Surprising amount of people actually do this. I think especially now with how expensive it is to ship stuff. Not that you need to know economics or how the economy is doing per se to understand this stuff, but, you know, definitely understand that, like, shipping costs have gone up as of late. You know, we don't need to get into it, of course, but shipping costs have gone up, you know, not just because of materials, but because of, like, gas prices and stuff, so, unfortunately, that kind of stuff does get passed on to people, you know? The format, in so much of the Halo 2 thing, I don't know if there's a hardcover Halo 2 strategy guide. There probably is, but I don't know about it. But if you know exactly what you're looking for, like I was saying before, if you just keyword it in properly, it'll come up perfectly fine. For example, going back to it, if you're looking for a specifically new 3DS XL, don't get this. This thing that says Nintendo 3DS XL, don't go to that. Like, make sure you know what you're getting, and we'll get more into discerning a little bit later. Something that is nice though, and especially for us as gamers, if my mouse wheel would stop sucking, is region code. If you're dealing with a region-locked console, or you were looking for a specific, like if you're looking for a PAL release, you can look for specifically PAL or NTSC U or J or whatever and that's neat. That can be nice for something like UAE games, like for example, UAE. So the United Arab Emirates, UAE, they are always the last to get something, and so they might not have gotten Project Cross Zone. Although this this CD version is pretty cool. Let's go with Pokemon instead. So like right here, this sticker, this thing right here shows that it's a UAE product, and it is the typical last release of a product. For things like the 3DS, for example, you'll still sometimes see UAE versions out there for cheap, and that could be a niche little collection. But this is, suffice to say that UAE stuff is the last release. Typically, it's not normally wanted that much, especially in comparison to NTSC, U, or J. But that is an option that you can go with. You can look at region code if you, again, know what you're looking for. I have never seen this before. This game name tab, I have never seen that. That's interesting. Again, for the most part, if you know what you're doing, you obviously don't need publisher or release year or anything. You will know what you're looking for at a glance. Like, I wanted Pokemon Moon, not Ultra Sun, for example. Over down here, it's obnoxious that my scroll wheel isn't working very well. Down here, you can set a price threshold, which can be nice. For me personally, I do enough research to not need this price thing, but if you're going for something that has a weird variance in price for whatever reason, you can use this. Nothing even really comes to mind, quite frankly, because most things have a pretty set price, and we'll see more of that as we go through. For example, as we're going through this, you're already seeing the prices for Moon UAE as around $43, you know, give or take. So like, having this here can be nice. Like, okay, so controllers could be good here. I have used this to look for controllers before because you know, like, it was back in the day. I needed a GameCube controller or whatever, and I was trying to not spend more than 20 bucks. So you can absolutely use this for something like that. Controllers could be pretty variable. But depending on how much you want to spend, you could also go for a batch lot, and we'll go over what lots are in a little bit here. Condition, again, you don't really need this. You can just look. The description can be good. Buying format, you can put this here. I go on the top bar. We haven't gone over the top bar yet, but you can use that. And then item location, this is where it's shipping from. So if you didn't want to pay something like an import fee for something from Japan, then you can, you know, hit US only. And then it'll refresh the page with your new search. And there you go. These can be nice too. I'm not really going to go over these because they're pretty self-explanatory, but completed items, actually, that's an interesting listing. Completed items will show listings that have already been sold, and sold, shipped, and received. So, yeah, that's just interesting that that's there. I've never actually, I don't use that, so that's neat to see. Deals and savings, that's nice. That's normally either like some random eBay code gives you like 10% off, like that ad had, or somebody's discounted it. People can discount their own listings a little bit without having to relist it. But regardless, the biggest thing really are the item location and the price threshold. We're just going to set that to default so we don't, you know, have to deal with that. Up here, we have all sorts of stuff. You have your auction, your buy it now, condition, item location. Well, item location is here too. Sort has all sorts of stuff, and we'll go over the positives or how to best look at each of these settings, except for maybe distance nearest, because I don't really use that. But these two time sections and the price sections, these both have important merits, and we'll go over those. This should just be how many results are. Yeah, that's a visual organization thing. And popular filters, you don't really need to worry about, because again, you should know what you're looking for, at least roughly. Yes, that's very important. It is very, very important to look into legitimacy so you can verify for things like, since we're on Pokemon, Pokemon Fire Red is a very easy one because, God, that's how much Pokemon Fire Red is nowadays. Like, you can get on the Switch for 20 bucks. What are these people doing? Okay, so I can already tell. I'm pretty sure the sticker on this is bad. It's a sponsored listing. I mean, these are obviously repro cartridges, but understand what you're looking at. These could not be more apparent they are repro cartridges. Holy hell. I wanted to show off the quote-unquote window pane on the circuit board for Fire Red, which is why I searched it up. But, yeah, these are costly. Let's go. Okay, this is a new listing. Let's see if he has. So right here, cool bit of info is the little window pane. This block of 4 is typically what people will denote as an authentic cartridge for Fire Red, and that's one of the many tells. This guy's camera freaking sucks. My God. That's one of the many tells that this game has. So if you're looking for Pokemon games, for example, know what you're looking at. It is very, very important, especially right now with how explosive and volatile Pokemon has been for the past 5 years, basically. It's important to know how to look at cartridges. There's videos on that I'm not going to go over because they can get pretty in-depth, and that's a little bit out of the scope of how to use something like eBay. But suffice to say, learn whatever it is you're looking for, because there's repros out there, and some people can be pretty good at making fake stuff. Yeah, DS games have tells. I mean, like, any cartridge has tells. CDs too, but CDs are less counterfeited. So yeah, let's go ahead and actually we can go over to this one again and go over this. So click on a listing, and this is what you see. You have additional photos here, and what's important to know about this is that the more photos somebody has, the better, especially if they look real. Like, this is not a stock image. A lot of people use stock images, or in the case of this one up here that had the like 5 of them. Like, this is a very doctored image, of course. So if people are using real images, that immediately is a green flag for me. That is an okay, this is immediately something I can at least look at. And you can zoom in, you can expand. Expand dong. You can favorite it here if you want. If for some, I don't even know why these are here. eBay loves to get people selling nowadays. I don't know what the hell the problem is with that. Yeah, you can reverse image search them. That surprisingly isn't too big of an issue, and that's gonna come into what I haven't explained yet, but It'll come into the seller's reviews. But if you're buying from somebody that doesn't have many reviews, definitely do a reverse image search. Because yeah, I mean, it's easy. You right click, save image. That's all you got to do. So yeah, be wary of that. But over here, we are seeing the other half of what the listing is. This is the title of the listing. This is the shop. And you can go ahead and click a shop too and see what other things they're selling. In this case, let me take a drink of my horchata. In this case, this guy is selling a whole lot of crap, and he's actually got categories so you can see what's what, which is cool. Newly listed, whatever. We're not going to go into this too much. But Jesus Christ, platinum for 140? But you can go ahead and take a look and see if somebody has a proper store set up. On this same vein, you can see how many items are sold on a page. You can see how many followers they have, which doesn't really tell too much. But you can also take a look at their feedback. The feedback is the most important part. Going back here, this guy has 1,700 positive feedback messages. So when you're buying on eBay, you don't have to leave a message or a rating. A lot of people do, especially if they are long-time users of the site. People will leave reviews, and you'll be able to see that. So if we click on the feedback, you can see exactly in the last year, this guy's got 900 positive results, 4 neutral, and 2 negative. And of course that just happens. But overall, this guy has maintained nearly 100% feedback across 1,700 cells, or 1,700 reviews, which makes it pretty good. You can definitely trust something like this. Shout out to Blankenship's Bargains, I guess. This is just free marketing for this guy. Read what people are saying. I mean, this is very specific. This is the item saying what is here, and you know how it all is. You only have so much room. I think it's like 500 characters for a review, so you can't get too wordy with it. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing how this is starting to break down, and this is really important because if you're buying stuff, like I have a coworker that yeah, see, here you go. You can even see photos of it. So this is the original listing, and you know, you can go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty. But suffice to say, when you're making more important purchases, definitely do your research on not only the item, but the sellers that have it listed, and see how they're panning out. Absolutely see how they're panning out. This is the shop. So this is that was a quick run through of like how to go through and search for someone. You can also directly send messages, and I can't show a make offer right now, can I? I can't. How the hell am I going to show this off? Okay, hang on. Okay, so I am going to hopefully not fuck this up royally. And oh yes, please. Why can I not scale you? Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so this right here, this is something that I'm looking at. I'm looking at getting a Pokemon Go Plus so I can play Pokemon Go easier. This is what the make offer page looks like. So, how is this gonna look actually? hang on. Before I dox myself. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. That was a bad idea. Anyway, on that page, on this page here, you can go ahead and put in an offer for something. You can also send a message. So like, for example, I plan on looking for something that has a pretty rigid price. So I'm planning to ask people like, hey, I'm trying to actually use this thing. Is there any way I could get this for like a discount? It's a trading card. So like, you know, like, hey, I want to build a deck with this. Is there any way you can actually give me, like, can we meet in the middle for this so I can actually enjoy this card kind of thing? And once you hit submit on the offer, it'll either say that the offer has been accepted or rejected. Once you go through the screen, but the screen after you hit continue will show how eBay will charge you for it, where it's getting shipped to, and all your other typical account information. So you're not going to see that from me, but you will be able to at least see if that offer is accepted. And once you make an offer, the seller can accept it, reject it outright. They can reject it with their own message and send another offer to try and meet in the middle. So you can kind of haggle with people a little bit. And that's what make offer is. It's really nice, and it lets you have some flexibility when it's always nice to have that flexibility when you're looking for something, because you can you can try and make your case, you know. Hey Dimon, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm not getting into all of that, because that turns into platform specific stuff and even cartridge specific stuff. I use Fire Red as an example for that, but we're not. I'm not trying to get super specific into how to identify fakes and all that stuff. That is definitely a YouTube video thing where somebody has like 10 copies of Fire Red, for example, and can look at all of them to showcase how it can be fake, which I think I actually did have in Hyperbeam at some point. So yeah, that's what make offer is, and make offer is your best friend. I will oftentimes lowball it, and for example, I just bought a PS Vita because I wanted to try and get some stuff for the PS3 Vita shutdown, and somebody accepted a really cheap offer on it that I wasn't really expecting. But sometimes, you know, people are going to try and meet in the middle, or maybe they'll just give you a reduced price, and you got to kind of feel it out a little bit. If they're not going to send a message, you kind of got to feel out what you're doing. And yeah, sometimes people just won't move. So you got to deal with that. That's an L you're going to have to take sometimes. In today's market, you would use make offer if possible. Just wish listing an item and get you an offer. Yeah, I haven't gone over that yet. Or actually, I did briefly. When you're looking at an item, I didn't go over this part of it. I was saying earlier how eBay would message you if you save an item listing and it'll message you like once a day if you're following a listing, and it'll say, you know, Pokemon Fire Red, 10 new listings, or whatever. But some things that you're following, if you do add something to your watch list, every once in a while, the seller will put out like a discount if they're trying to move it. So this guy could put out like a 10% off thing or whatever. And it's important to look at your email for messages like that, especially if it's stuff you're really adamant about getting. But when people, most of the time when people are doing that, it's not a huge discount. I did see there was something got pushed to me where it was like the listing was like 35% off or something, and I'm pretty sure I bought whatever that was. But oftentimes, unless they're really trying to get rid of whatever that item is, it's going to be 5% or 10%, and that can still be good if you don't have the option to make offer. We didn't go over it yet, but not every listing has make off or best offer. It'll have it listed right here in this short little description here. You can see here, this is that fake listing I was talking about, but this is the price, this is who it's from, or best offer. Always look for that or best offer. The delivery charge and whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot of information to be gleaned right off the bat just by looking at this block of text here. And if it doesn't have make offer, if it doesn't have best offer, it doesn't have offer. So like if I'm still looking for Fire Red, for example, and I'm looking for I think best offer is on this side. Fucking mouse wheel, dude, I swear to God. Condition, accepts offers. Buying format, this is what you'd be looking for. And you can see how much it gets slimmed down, from nearly 2,600 down to 900. But if you go to accepts offers, then suddenly all of these have best offer on it. And that's what you're looking for. That is the first big way to save paper in this day and age, is best offer. Because don't forget, you are dealing with real people. And real people, you know, have various reasons for doing whatever. Anyway, coming back here, you probably don't want to buy the service available from Allstate. I don't know why you would get this by any means. Like, what is this even for? Add peace of mind with a protection plan. Protects from breakdowns, malfunctions like broken buttons or screens. What the fuck? I don't think you're going to be getting this for a used product ever, but anyway. It also has free shippings and returns. It's nice to see that. Most of the time, there will be free shippings and returns because that is partially how people maintain their good rating, is to actually offer customer service. So, you know, there's that. Scrolling down a little bit, we haven't even gone down at all. You're seeing where it's shipping from, how much the shipping is, estimated delivery, payment methods, top rated plus, eBay money back guarantee, which I think is on everything you buy from eBay. If it's not, it's on 99.99% of things. Keep in mind, this will not save you if you buy something that's counterfeit or broken already. If something is already listed as not working, which we'll get to in a little bit, this isn't going to save you because you bought the item when it was already listed as being broken, or if somebody puts this is a reproduction or whatever, you know. Similar items, of course. Explore related items, we're just going to skip past that. Down here is where the real meat and potatoes are. This is where you start doing your research about this item. 3 simple words with a whole block of things over here. So item specifics, these are under every eBay listing, so you don't really need to worry about this. What you do need to worry about, sometimes condition can help you. Like if you're looking at something that looks like it might be new or like sealed, but the lighting makes the plastic look weird and whatever. Condition can help you at least see that because it's listed as either new or good or whatever. But item description from the seller. Very, very important that you read through this. because this right here is exactly what I was going to start talking about. The product is an authentic cartridge of Pokemon Fire Red for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance. It is designed for NTSC-U and published by Nintendo. The game is rated E for everyone and is part of the popular Pokemon series. This cartridge allows players to experience the adventure of catching the whatever. A lot of times, and this is very true for video games in particular, I assume books and maybe even CDs would have this issue too. People, especially nowadays, are very apt to just grab an AI summary or whatever of the product, and I can understand that because especially if you're running a proper eBay store, you're going to have a lot of items. But make sure you're reading what it is, because a lot of the times, if it's not an AI summary, then it's exactly whatever the blurb is on the back of the box, you know? So if you go to something else, this is actually not just a copy-paste of this. I like that it does say it's an authentic cartridge. That's nice. Because if it's not, if you can tear down the cartridge and see that it's a fake, then you can immediately cite this guy, and eBay will actually have your back on that. eBay is actually very, very good about making sure that people are selling things correctly and right. And if somebody sells something that isn't exactly what it's touted as, either correctly or incorrectly, then you have grounds to return it from eBay themselves. They can step in. Let's go with something. I don't know. Unfortunately, if I want to actually find one of these generic descriptions, I'm probably gonna have to sift through a couple listings. This is a pretty good one, actually. Product is a GBA cartridge, a Pokemon Fire Red version. This authentic working copy is part of the popular Pokemon game with an E rating. Whatever. Perfect fans of the franchise. Yeah, it's kind of mediocre, but it also says tested and working. See photos for condition. Always see photos for condition, especially buying used. So it's good to see that. It also encourages the buyer to, you know, not be an idiot. See photos for condition right here. You can see that the cartridge is in pretty good shape. I mean, look at the sticker. For what this game is, I mean, this is in really good shape. Even has a screenshot of the game booting on official hardware. With the worst Game Boy Advance SP I've seen in a while. Look at this, dude. Golly, man. This thing's been through the fucking grinder. Homeboy threw his SP in the dryer and said, have fun. Anyway, that aside. Okay, here's something. This is suspiciously cheap, and that plastic doesn't look good. And you can tell right here, the back is entirely different. This is obviously a repro. So let's go ahead and look at the... Yeah, here's the about this product big blurb. This could even be copy-pasted here. It is not, but this is very nothing. This is a whole lot of nothing, actually. Yeah, sometimes people... I'm probably not gonna find it, but sometimes people will... Nice code here. Sometimes people will basically just copy and paste this as their item description. So you gotta be careful about that. That is an SP that's been in a lot of pockets and bags and oily hands. Yeah. Bene, what's up? Bene, since this is going to be most beneficial to you... beneficial, haha. Highly recommend that you go back and check the beginning of the stream, because I went over a lot of the, you know, how to use eBay thing, early on. That was, what, 20 minutes ago? 40 minutes ago? Jesus Christ, I've been live for 40 minutes already. But I'll throw you a bone here, because, there's a whole lot of stuff to go through still. So... You know, we went over, of course, this is obviously a counterfeit Fire Red cartridge, but, you know, that's kind of the primer of, like, how to look for something. Now, we're going to go ahead and go to the home page. And you can see your recently viewed items, which is nice. After a while, just like anything else, it'll start building a profile on you and the things you want to buy. Video games, video game consoles. Shocker, right? Who would have thunk it? That's a cool looking 3DS. Damn. Is that a custom theme? Oh yeah, that's totally custom. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and go through these systems, because believe it or not, Benny, you were actually not the first person that has come to me looking for help on how to buy a 3DS system off of anything, really. Why is this song so loud? Is this song loud for you guys? Holy hell. Okay, so we're gonna use pretty much everything we've learned to try and get a good deal on a 3DS. So, first things first. Yeah, first things first, do not pay more for a modded 3DS. The problem is that 3DSs are doing nothing but appreciating. So, if a modded DS is $240, I mean, quite frankly, it doesn't really matter at that point. So anyway, let's go ahead and use these tools to narrow down exactly what it is that we're looking for. So, we are looking for a new Nintendo 3DS XL to buy and mod for ourselves. Now, with market research, I already know that they're cheaper in Japan than in the United States. However, if you don't know that, you want to go ahead and do your due diligence. You know, we haven't been through these sort options, but let's take a look at those first. If you go with price plus shipping lowest first, you're going to start seeing a lot of listings. What's the story here? Is this just some cheapo 2DS that somebody's trying to offload? Hang on. Did I just find a listing I'm actually interested in? Oh yeah, here's one of these. Okay. This is a good example of probably a pretty good item description. Up for auction, Nintendo 2DS handheld electric blue stylus charger, has a 4GB SD card. Charger cable has damage but still works. Free shipping. Please bid with confidence. Pawn. Is this a city state or did he mistype something? Oh, no, okay, so, yeah, this is... I was like, what the... Is Pawn MN, like... What the fuck is that? Anyway. So you can go through and take a look at the pictures and stuff, and that's pretty nice. I think I'll save that listing for later. Anyway. We're going to start going through this. You can already see some of the bids, though. And bids are oftentimes... I hate to break it to you guys... bids, like auctions, often you will get a deal on an auction. It sucks because once you start getting to the last few minutes, then things can start ramping up. I'm not about to show you guys me trying to win an auction because one, I wouldn't even know what to get, and two, I'm not about to, well, you know, go through all that. So, you know, when you're starting out, you'll probably get outbid on a few things. You'll probably get sniped, but it happens. It happens to a lot of people. Anyway, we're going to start going through some of them and go to the more realistic listings. So you can see replacement, blah, 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 whatever. Shells. Sometimes you got to skim through this a little bit. We're just going to go to the next page. I'm trying to see the bulk listing of like a bunch of... Because I know exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of listings with Japanese 3DSs that are from Japan. And that's what I'm trying to get just to show for stream purposes. For parts or repair, that happens. Alright, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to click page 4. Okay, here we go. Immediately it pays off. So you're going to start seeing more consoles that are from Japan because they're just normally cheaper. Okay, so this isn't exactly working, but this is a good example. We haven't been through listings like this yet, but basically this is a listing that has listings within it. So in this guy's case, he might have a bunch of random 3DSs, and you can pick your color, metallic red, and then console plus charger plus box, and you can kind of select it from there, and it'll, you know, spit out a price for you. Wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but that is something that can happen. Dude, this happened all the time. Like, whenever I was looking for a 3DS, even recently for, like, Homeboy, there would be, like, a wall of listings of Japanese-only 3DSs. You can tell this is off the cuff because, you know, this is obviously not scripted. But, I mean, you are seeing some of the cheaper stuff. Unfortunately, even though we are looking for new 3DS XLs in particular, some stuff does slip through those cracks, and, you know, you just gotta not be stupid. Yeah, should I go over bidding? Okay, we'll briefly go over bidding. So on eBay, there's a couple different things you can do. One is auto bid, and what auto bid is that you set a value, and eBay will automatically counter bid all the other bids that are coming in until it gets to your threshold. So if you put down like $100 or something for a 3DS, right? And there's like 2 people already bidding, then if you put your auto bid to 100 and these guys are bidding against it, then they're not going to see the auto bid of 100, but they'll be going against what is the next step up from their bid. So if you're putting in like $1 every time, then as soon as they bid like $30 for that, then your auto bid will automatically do like 31, and then they'll have to put in 32, and they will get that feedback. They'll be able to see if they've been outbid, but don't do that. Auto bid sucks. Unless you're in the last few minutes and you just want to put in a crazy price because you're that desperate for something, auto bid is not very good. I have had a couple successes with auto bid because some people will, you know, they'll peter out of the listing, and if you're busy at work or something and you're looking to get that, but you can't, you know, pull out your phone and put the bid in, that's kind of what auto bid is there for. But if it's a very popular listing and there's tons of watchers on it, you can normally see how many people are watching. In this case, 21 watchers. Then that can be difficult. And also, absolutely do not bid early, because genuinely all it does is just drive up the final price. Bidding early does absolutely nothing for you, and in fact actually alerts people that are watching or already bidding in the listing. If you're gonna get something, just hang tight, stay low, put it on your watch list, and eBay will put out a reminder when the listing has 15 minutes, and you can go to the listing and just get it there. The eBay app is very useful for that. So keep that in mind, that bidding early doesn't do anything for you. Especially, like, even if you come to a listing that has nobody watching, if you put a bid on something, people are more likely to look at that. Like, it just shows up better. So put a lot of stuff on your watch list, but don't bid on anything until you're sure you want to go for it and it's in the last few minutes. Autobid just drives up prices. It's best for either low demand items where you don't expect the price to climb but don't want to watch it like a hawk, or if you have enough disposable income to not care. Definitely the latter for sure. But when it comes to the former, yeah, I mean, auto bid can help with that, but they don't necessarily have to be low demand items. It just has to be people that It just has to be a listing that doesn't have many eyes on it. So, like, for example, I ended up getting... What was it? I think it was a copy of Pearl. Diamond or Pearl. I ended up getting that for, like, 40 bucks, complete in case, with auto bid. And it just happened to not have many people on that listing. But if you're on a listing where there's plenty of watchers... If there's plenty of watchers, there's gonna be activity. It's not even like a statistic where like only 10% of watchers. It's no, if somebody's watching it, they probably want that item. So, like, it wouldn't be uncommon to say like 40% of people watching probably, say 30. 30% of people watching want that item. So, especially if it's listed low, definitely keep that in mind. It is a little algorithmic. You are right about that, Ren. Anyway, so what I was doing here was I was showing that a lot of... I wasn't doing it well, but I was showing that a lot of the cheaper DSs still come from Japan. So, you know, if I was looking at 3DS, I would definitely put... I definitely put a region code on there to specifically get NTSC-J ones, because as we all know, a modded 3DS doesn't have a region lock, so you can do that. You can go ahead and look. We didn't break down these yet, but you can go ahead and look for ending soonest or newly listed. A lot of times people will not look at listings that are ending soon, and the seller will... I've had both... I've seen this happen both ways a lot, where the seller will either relist the item or not list the item again for a while. So, go by ending soonest and just see what things are looking at. But right here, you can already see there's two different listings for... Okay, there's four... All of these listings are specifically from Japan. Oh, no, wait, we put in the Japanese code. Duck. Never mind, ignore that part. But you can see there's listings ending all the time, and these two don't even have a bid on them. Now, don't get me wrong, the Japanese import tax kind of sucks right now. But 179 or best offer, in the case of an ending listing, the lister could just try to get rid of their product, and you can put in a good offer and they will probably see it. Time zone dependent. If it's like 3 in the morning in Japan, I don't think it is. What time is it in Japan? They're like 16 hours ahead of me. So it's like 12, I think. But if they're awake when it's over, you can go to put in an offer, and there is a good chance they will respond to you, because they get alerted when they're selling stuff, or when the stuff they're selling is approaching the end. So you can use that to your advantage. Also, you can see right here, just by looking at what's ending soonest, these have actually gone up in price. I'm surprised about that again, but they're also not psychotically expensive. Yeah, looking at ending soonest or newly listed, which we'll go over in a second, can be really, really good for getting stuff. Like this is that red DSi. I remember when this came out, actually. Complete in box, it looks like, with the large stylus. The large stylus is not a common item. A lot of people lost it. Surprising, right? But yeah, to see this complete in box is pretty cool. So we're looking, and you can already see lots of bids. This is already starting to climb up there. This is at $66 with still a day left and still $30 shipping. This is going to go higher because there's so many bids already on it. Looking at the number of bids, if something has a good number of bids, you're you're probably not going to get it. Because like we were saying earlier, all it does is just drive up the price and bring attention to the listing. It is really obnoxious because eBay will do this thing where you might get recommended something and it's a new listing that's been up for like half an hour and already has like 40 bids on it because people are stupid. And those types of notifications bug the shit out of me. Damn. So we'll do the inverse, and instead of looking at ending soonest, we'll look at newly listed. Newly listed can be the exact same thing as ending soonest, because sometimes if people list something, if there is a best offer and it's close to what they're looking for, they might just let you take it right then and there. As a matter of fact, something I just got was like that. It was a newly listed item, and I put in an offer. It was like maybe a couple hours old. Nobody bid on it or anything. I put an offer on it, and it got accepted. I mean, just a couple hours after it was listed. So, you know, play the game a little bit. Look at the newly listed stuff. Look at the ending soonest stuff, and just take your shots. You know, it's gonna take a little bit of time. One of the things we didn't get into that I will get into soon, but when it comes to looking for anything collecting related, whether you're doing it IRL or online, in a used game store, in whatever, the key is persistence. Persistence is the big thing, and that is like the number one thing I want people to walk away with is just keep it up. Just keep it up, stay within your price range, stick to your guns, and you will get what you're looking for the right price. Don't be absurd. Don't look for a $20 copy of Pokemon Platinum, for example. Because that's not going to happen. Sorry to break it to you. But, you know, if you're looking to get Platinum for like $100, which is still fucking exorbitant for a freaking Pokemon game you can easily emulate, then, you know, look around, take a look and see what's out there, and just watch stuff. People will eventually, you know, try to meet in the middle for some sort of best offer, and you'll get it. That's how I got my Platinum, actually. When they first announced the 3DS shutdown, I did pick up a copy of Platinum for more than I wanted to, because again, like I said, it's very easily emulable, but it's a physical Pokemon game, you know. So that being said, I did end up getting Platinum for cheap, but it took a couple months. It definitely took a couple months of on and off searching. But yeah, looking at the newly listed, like I said, sometimes people just, you know, put a listing with a best offer there, and sometimes you can get a good sale just because somebody's trying to get rid of it quick. We're just gonna scroll down a little bit. Not too many. Not too many best offers, but usually that's how it goes, honestly. Damn, 5 bills for that? Anyway. Let's see. I have one more thing I want to go over when it comes to eBay, but I don't know if I want to go into that yet. I guess we'll go into it, yeah. Yeah, definitely don't get desperate. If you're looking for something and you have to stay within a budget, don't get desperate, because then you'll go over budget. You might make a dumb mistake, and you might overspend by way too much. Well, the thing about Pokemon, Demome, is it's a really easy point to just say, to use as an example. But the thing about Pokemon is that a lot of this just comes to supply and demand. If people are buying stuff at, you know, the price people are listing, then that is sufficient. You know, it's economics, but like a lot of Pokemon stuff, especially the Gen 3 and 4 stuff, that was when Pokemon was waning. So there's less supply of it than you might think, and people want that like a lot. So people are buying it whether, you know, it's $30 or $100. It's unfortunately how it is, but with how collecting is right now, a lot of stuff like this, I mean, there's still going to be cheap ways to get stuff, like the actual official releases of stuff, but you know, if people are buying at a price, then the price isn't going to come down. That's just the unfortunate way it is. That's why you kind of have to game the market a little bit, and that's kind of what we're going for with this stream, is how to game the market and how to be patient about it and how to use your tools effectively. For now, it's meaning in demand, but you know it'll eventually fade. I mean, it'll eventually fade, sure, but it's not gonna fade anytime soon. I don't think. It's one of those things where it's like, if you want to get in on it now, you kind of have to. You have to get in on it now. But with how collecting is as a whole, and this isn't just with Pokemon, it's the fact that everybody's collecting everything. And what's unfortunate is that a lot of this stuff does hold value. I'm not gonna get into, you know, the ethos of collecting, but like collecting nowadays it sucks. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be games, it could be stamps, it could be cards. It's unfortunately, I mean, hell, it's almost more stable than selling like precious metals. Like, god damn, dude. Unless your name is Gold, you know, you could sell something. Like, for anybody that already is a collector here or has some stuff, I mean, you could probably make a couple bills just selling one or two things, and you'd be perfectly fine. But anyway, that's not the point of this. The point of this is to try and equip people with a tutorial on how to use eBay, how to be steadfast in your price range, and how to search, and how to be informed about your search. Because yeah, for the most part, like, here's one thing that you gotta understand, especially if you're coming into this. Everything will come back. You will get another chance or a different chance at the same product if you are patient. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter where you are. You will get another chance. Like, okay, so for example, I live by a game chain called Level 7 Games. They're probably the premier game store in all of Colorado. They get all sorts of cool, interesting stuff. And a lot of it is really unique. Like, they definitely have some really unique finds, and GameStops always have this kind of thing. But if there's something that you want to get, and it's out of your price range, or you're not willing to pay that much for it, then don't. Like, it sucks. It sucks to see that thing where it's like, oh man, I've been looking for that thing for a while, and it would be awesome to finally get it here. But, you know, maybe it's not in as good condition, or, you know, the price is like the same as what you would already pay on eBay or something. And it's like, well, you know, you kind of got to take that into consideration of like, is it more worth it to try and get it on eBay when it's right here and not the best, but like eBay, I could get it from somebody that, you know, ships really well, and, you know, they use a lot of padding or whatever. A crusty ass Bubsy 3D disc you got for $3. I wonder if he could. You guys want to see how much Bubsy 3D is? I mean, look at it. Bubsy 3D is $30. Just the disc is 10 with 9 ship. What do you mean $9 shipping? What the hell is going on here? This looks like it was fake wrapped. What the fuck is this? Yeah, like they tried to put plastic wrap on it to like make new shrink wrap. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but... yeah, we haven't gone over that yet, Ren, but I wanted to talk about looking at markets, especially with trading cards, because trading cards, a lot of people nowadays know to look at the market when they're selling something. That doesn't mean they're not gonna budge, but it does mean that trying to find what you want for a good price can be a little bit more difficult. Yeah, that's an old trick, Ren. The low cost but high shipping. Most people don't do that anymore, actually. I haven't seen that in a long while, actually. But that definitely used to be a thing back in the day. Like, I remember being a kid and seeing that. I even remember seeing it when I was like in high school looking at stuff. But yeah, word to the wise. People will disguise their shipping as like being $60 with like a $10 item. Because they can do that. They absolutely can. Like, Bubsy 3D right here could have $11 shipping, and this could be like a 20-cent disc. So yeah, we're gonna go to best match. We'll go back to the 3DS thing, and we'll just take a look around and see what we see, you know? The important thing is always just look around and see what the listings are like. See how many listings have legitimate photos, see what they're pricing, see what the shipping is, see what they're coming from. And this is the market research of it. You know, this is the window shopping and looking to see what, you know, the going rate might be. And once you do enough of this and you go down to like page like 4 or 5 even, and you're seeing that, yeah, the 3DS for some reason is just getting stupidly expensive, but then sometimes there's these ones that are sub 200 with some shipping. Then you might be informed enough to start making a guess. But like I was showing before, do some digging. Search in alternative methods, search in alternative markets. For example, I mean, here's one that's 180 with free shipping. It'll take a while to get to you, probably, but, you know, this is immediately $20, $30 cheaper than all the others. And so take a look at that. Make sure you read the listings. Like, we'll go to this one, for example. Turn this down a little bit. You know, I mean, there's some cosmetic damage for sure. That's not surprising. It is a handheld console, after all. You know, you go down. Yeah, like, I mean, right here. Like, this looks pretty solid. I still wouldn't pay 180 for a 3DS. But that's also because I've already done my market research and I'm kind of getting re-caught up with how things are. But if you're coming into this and already seeing like some of the higher prices, you might get desperate and go for that, but just hang tough, keep this open in another tab, and come back to it later. Like, if I'm looking for something on eBay, I probably have 20 tabs open. That's not even a joke. Like, I will probably have 20 different listings open of all the different stuff just so I can see like what's good, why was it good, stuff like that. I can't believe how much the 3DS has gone up. My god. I wish I had more cash when they were finishing selling them in retail. Anyway. This is all to say that if you are good, like, okay, here's one. It says this is a junk console. Let's take a look at it. Sometimes it'll say junk, but it's actually not. Actually looks really good. Why does this look so good? How is this listed as junk? Sorry, I thought I heard something. The item is junk. The bottom touchscreen on the left side does not work properly. Additionally, the 3D adjustment slider and the volume slider do not work properly. And still, Homeboy's trying to sell it for 180. It looks nice though, I will say that. Is this really a new one? Yeah, I mean, there's cosmetic damage, but... Baseline operational status verified for successful power routing and system boot initialization. What? Baseline operational status verified for successful power routing and system boot initialization. It turns on! Why'd this guy have to call it that? That's what I was thinking too, but admittedly, I don't know enough about the 3DS to do that. I mean, if it is, the ribbon cable, from what I've seen in the 3DS, the ribbon cable is not handled very well. Which, I mean, shocker, but... Here's something. So this is in the States, so $15 shipping. Oh my god! Okay, never mind. That is true, actually, yeah. Yeah, that's because shipping from Japan is expensive. Like, did I publish the video of me opening the stuff for Final Fantasy IX's anniversary? I don't know if I did, but suffice to say, I had to import all that stuff from Japan, and the shipping was ridiculous. What was it? Bad screen. Very, very bad screen. 2 big ink blots. Regardless, you know, this is all to say that if you do a little bit of searching, and that was just the first page. I didn't show that off, but you can change the results per page if you want. I don't know what this would really do for you, but I mean, it's there, so you can do that. Anyway, you know, this is all to say that this is kind of how you search for stuff. You have Mario Party music in the background and just scroll for endless hours. Some of these are expensive, honestly. Even some of the stuff from Japan is crazy high. Like, I'm shocked at it. It just keeps getting more and more expensive. This hobby sucks, dude. Like, I was just looking at 3DSs for somebody a few months ago, and they were like $50 less than this. What is going on, man? Still, though, We've already identified a few listings that might have cheaper options. Of course, don't fall for the not a new. This isn't even a 3DS XL. This is just a normal 3DS. So yeah, take your time and look. Put your best offers in, and if you strike out, then don't worry about it. It's about playing the long game. Now, about thrift stores, sometimes actually in the case of Goodwill, they might actually, they actually have an eBay presence. And so you can actually go ahead and go to them and see what they have listed. And I think they have like 4 or 5 different distribution locations. So you can still get stuff for relatively cheap, but it's nothing crazy. At least as far as the thrift store online market is concerned. Like, at the end of the day, if you're looking on eBay for Goodwill stuff, you're still going against all the other people, all the other listings, everything else. But sometimes that stuff goes under the radar. It's very easy for things to go under the radar, especially if there's 100,000 listings for things. Which is why you want to stay on top of it. Keep sorting by ending soonest to see what's going on, or newly listed. You can also see some cool stuff if you list by highest first. For example, what the fuck is this? Oh man. This is cool. What does rank A be? I don't know what that is. It could be some sort of... It could be something for the 3DS that I don't know. If I had to guess, it would be condition, but I wouldn't actually know. What the fuck do you mean the Metroid... What do you mean this is fucking 3,300? Like, this is just complete in box. It's been used. That's a scam. That is straight up a scam. See, now this I could sort of understand. Not for 2,800, but I could sort of understand it. 15 units of new Nintendo 3DS XL console only. JP random color. Unbelievable. Yeah. Now sometimes sorting by highest first can be fun. Let's lift the NTSC J. What is this bozo doing? What an ignoramus! This guy's trying to get 20 fucking racks for this? Okay, actually, this is a fun thing. So one thing we didn't go over yet are lots. Or item bundles, depending what you want to call them. These kinds of things. I actually have some of these. That's neat. Lots are a good way to, if you're looking to spend a little bit more but get some bonus, you can actually go ahead and look for things like, well, for example, let's go back. We're going to stop looking at this for a minute. Put in lot, that simple term, and you should start getting things where people don't know what they're doing, apparently. Shocker. Okay, here's one. So, new 3DS XL Galaxy Limited System with box and games lot. Lots are basically, this guy is trying to sell a bunch of items in one listing just to get rid of it all. And, you know, this specific one has nothing at all that makes it. I mean, he's got some downloaded software on his 3DS. Sure, whatever. Console's in pretty decent shape, honestly. But yeah, this is a guy trying to sell off the whole thing, and you can even make an offer on it, which is cool. But lots are used to just get extra. For the case of the budding collector, or even the non-budding collector, that is just looking to grow a little bit more, you can look for lots, and oftentimes they'll have, in the case of a DS, the console plus a few games. Here's something slightly better. Slightly, quote unquote. Can I find a decent one so I can illustrate a good point? Like, okay, this one isn't bad. Assuming that this was a console that wasn't incredibly easy to mod, this is not bad. This is a console with 6 games. Ocarina of Time 3D. I mean, it's good. I don't really have anything to say about it. Kirby Triple Deluxe, it's fun. Mario Kart, I mean, solid hitters for the platform, you know? This is definitely somebody's childhood 3DS they're trying to get rid of. If this were like $50 less, I would say that it's probably solid. But this is decent. This is a console plus 6 games for under 4. That's doable, you know? Okay, here's something that might be better. Oh god, the At Games Genesis? What did I say about it being better? What fucking off-brand bullshit controller is this? What is this thing? Oh, but look, it's the Big Buck Hunts. Is this a Wii Remote charger? I think this is a Wii Remote charger. Sometimes you get stuff like this. Is that a... No, I thought that was a Game Boy Light. I don't think it is. Sometimes you get stuff like this where it's just people listing whatever the fuck. And it's a lot. It's just as simple as that. I mean, look, there's 3 DSs here. 2 3DSs. Immediately, you could almost justify the price of it. That's what I was thinking. What the fuck is this thing? I mean, you have to go through and look at all the screenshots to understand. Ooh. To understand exactly what you're getting with this. But if you were really looking to go crazy, and you were like, "Damn, this is a whole." What the fuck is this thing? Is this is the 3DS charging cradle? Is that what I'm looking at? Oh, hey, look, it's a GameStar controller. Shoutouts. Dude, what the fuck? Why are these wrapped in plastic? What the fuck, dude? What the hell is this? Is this a sensor bar? Oh my god, this is a sensor bar. Okay. Okay. This is, wow. What a fucking listing this is. Holy shit. Okay, a lot of Nintendo consoles, handhelds, whatever. This listing is for a lot of Nintendo consoles, handhelds, controllers, accessories, including models such as the NES, DSi XL, 3DS, Game Boy, Pocket, Wii, and SNES Plus extras. Included in the following: powers on, audio and visual untested, powers on, 2 3DS charging docks, a DSi XL charging dock. What the fuck is this? Like, what's hilarious about this is actually a pretty solid listing. This is actually a great listing. If I was ready to drop 6 bills, this would be an amazing listing. 2 NESs, 3 3DSs. Where is the SNES he was talking about? Cause that ain't an SNES. And torture. You even have a torture device right here. Anyway, yeah, so that's what a lot is. Sometimes you just get stuff in a lot and it's like, what the fuck was that? You can make your own DS, I guess, for anybody budding. Christmas bundle? What is this? Okay, so here's something. There's some DS games. You got Doodle Jump, the classic. Pokemon Sun. Harvest Moons. Some stuff. A game console. Like, I mean, some of it you could construe as shovelware. Console looks good. It's not a new 3DS. It's just a normal DS. But, not a bad lot necessarily. Not amazing. Why is it called the Christmas bundle? You got a lot that was a PS2, some controllers, GTA, San Andreas, Driver 3, and Xenosaga 3? Oh my god. How the fuck did you find a lot that had Xenosaga 3 in it? How much was it? Hey, there's Xenoblade! Crazy how we mentioned Xenosaga and Xenoblade shows up, huh? A new 3DS XL with Heart Gold. That is a cartridge. Something like this, like, given how Heart Gold is right now... Oh, there's no extra software, never mind. I was gonna say, it'd be cool to get this and get a bunch of extra software with it. But, yeah, with how Heart Gold is, that's like a $100 cartridge. If this guy had software on the 3DS, then it would be a little more worthwhile, but just those two, that's a bit much. Yeah, see, like this, don't buy that. This looks like it's a scam, but I mean, if they have the cases, that's not bad. What the fuck is that? That's somebody's repro cartridge that they were like, yeah, this one cartridge has like 300 games on it. Does the DS have any software on it? I don't think so. Yeah, that is also half a scam. What is this playlist? Hudson Soft music. Let me get the link. There you go. Yeah, yeah, Damon's story right there. Like, if you're looking for a lot, Sometimes you can get really lucky. There was something... I lost a lot that I really wanted because it had some game in it. I don't remember. I think it was Kirby Superstar Ultra. And like doing the research at the time, Superstar Ultra was a more expensive game. I later got Superstar Ultra for like 20 bucks, which is nice. But it was like a lot that had some stuff in like Superstar Ultra, and the lot was like 20 bucks. And then at the end, some guy, he didn't snipe me, but he put more down on the lot than I wanted to, and so he won it. But I mean, yeah, I'm getting Xenosaga 3 for as cheap as that. That shows you exactly how beneficial lots can be. It just comes down to persistence and, you know, being scrutinizing. Okay, so I wanted to, because I've been going for a little bit and I do want to wrap this up somewhat soon. I do want to point out thrift stores. Nowadays, your typical thrift store chains are not very good for finding stuff. Some things like, for example, PC parts, and not current stuff. We're talking like LGR stuff. A lot of that stuff can still be found relatively cheap because a lot of the times people just don't know how, you know, they don't know how some of that stuff is. A lot of things though, you know, they get put through the filter. Game consoles, games, trading cards, figures. For the most part, a lot of stuff is going to be put through. So if you're going to be going thrifting, you have to check out a lot of stores. And of course, you know, map out your area. See, you know, like thrift stores near me on Google or something like that. And try to see what's in there. You know, visit them a few times, get a good idea of what they might have. And check back frequently. Like, you know, go once a week if they're close, or maybe you take like 1 day a month and you just go hit all the stores and you see what they might have. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same for most other places or genres of businesses. Is anything corporate kind of sucks nowadays. But if you go to the local stuff, you know, you might find some real gems. That happens. Yeah, and sometimes they'll know exactly what they've got. They have glass cases that have stuff, and they have, you know, whatever. Oh my god. Dude, that Pokewalker's in good condition. So are the cartridges. Is that Shadows of Valentia? I think that's Shadows of Valentia. That's cool. Pokewalker turns on. A little beat up, but it's not that bad. I mean, look, the paint isn't even coming off of it. Oh, that's Fates? Ew. Things have been played around with a bit, but it's not that bad, all things considered. It's been like 10 to 15 years since your local spots have had any good selection when it comes to video games. Never want to go to a thrift store looking for anything specific. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I didn't really bring that up, but that was more so a general piece of collecting advice, is when you're going out to stores, whether this is thrift stores or used stores, like, even something like GameStop or in my case, like a Second and Charles or something, don't go looking for something in particular, because one, they probably won't have it. Two, you might get blindsided by some of the things they do have and you just might ignore them. And three, you might actually find a good deal on some other stuff without you even knowing about it. Thrift stores in particular, yeah, don't go looking just for games. Like, I found a Sonic the Werehog plush at the thrift store by where I used to live, and I got it for like $3, and it was like a $25 plush at the time. It's probably even more now. So if when you're going to use stores, whether it's thrifts or GameStop, Second and Charles, whatever, go in there with an open mind. Take a look around, take your time, you might find some cool stuff. Just browse everything, you know? Like maybe, for example, at a Second and Charles, the last time I went was a while ago, but when I go there, I'm not just looking for games, I'm looking at their CDs because I want some more music for my car. And my stereo that I have here too. You know, I'm looking at some of the other collectibles, like sometimes they have like controllers and stuff. In a different spot, they have like consoles and other limited stuff, and that's really cool. I got a copy of Xenoblade X actually there for the complete edition, I should say, the special edition of Xenoblade X with the magical device that bricks your computer. I got that for like 90 or 100, and it was complete in box, like hardly ever touched. But yeah, go in there and like have fun with it, you know? Look around at the stuff that does have your interest. You know, places like that have manga, they have books. They'll have like plushies, you know, like Squishmallows or something. That's the best advice I can give, is look around and take your time. And if you're in a good spot, you'll also still be able to search things up, because you know, sometimes buildings just have, you know, terrible signals, and you don't really get to look up stuff. But go in there, be informed. Eventually you'll be able to have some information and look at something and be like, hey, this could be a pricey thing, or hey, this is sort of a niche thing. I wonder what it's doing here. I wonder if it's going to be cheaper online or not, you know? T-shirts are good too. That's great. But yeah, go into used stores with you know, some wanderlust and just have fun with it. It's been a while since me and Totes have been, actually. Maybe we'll have to hit him up about that. And then conventions. I want to bring up conventions too, because conventions are the most extreme. Their prices will be high, sometimes even inflated if it's a big convention. For example, you know, I've talked about going to NDK, Non-Discon, which is like the #1 like anime convention in the state. And I've seen stores throughout the years, like last year, for example, me and Totes went to a few different cons, and I've seen how one particular store prices things for smaller cons, and then for bigger cons, they're like fucking marked up 50% just because. Just because there is a good chance they'll be able to sell it off anyway. So cons can be a double-edged sword, to where they can have some really interesting stuff, they can have some unique stuff, but also know that these guys might be pricing really, really high, and also know This is what they don't tell you, is they might be up for haggling. Keep that in mind. So, last year, where was I? Did I go to NDK for this? Last year, I ended up walking away. I posted pictures on Twitter and I think Instagram too, of these Gen 1 strategy guides that I got for like yellow version in particular, that have the poster and everything, and they're immaculate. I mean, like, the corners are so square on these things. And I got to haggle with the guy and get the both of them together for like, I don't remember how much, but it was something along the lines of like, I got a total of like $70 off of what the guy was charging by getting these two, and it was pretty nice. So say, hey, you know, like, what the fuck was that? So go in there and say, hey, you know, I'm looking to get, you know, so and so. Are you, you know, but I have this much. I'm willing to spend this much, or, you know, I want to get these two things, but can we bring the price down a little bit? And more often than not, they will be willing to work with you, unless they are specifically trading card sellers, because trading card sellers, I don't like, honestly. First off, everybody's doing it nowadays. But the big thing is that they will always just go through and just price stuff according to whatever's on like TCG Player or whatever, and they won't budge. They will not budge whatsoever. In fact, they'll probably say, you know what, it's $10 more now that you want to get this. It's fucked up. And even aside from that, they are also prone to not only going off of what TCG Player might have listed, but they'll still mark it up because, again, it's a convention. Exactly, Ren. Like that, it's tough. Like, even the used game store level 7, I've seen them, like, I've gone up, and this was a while ago, but I was with Lost Signal. We were just doing some game shopping, and I go to one of their locations, and they have this little thing of strategy guides there, and it's like this tiny little bookshelf that holds like maybe, I don't know, like 20 standing up on like the two different shelves. So it's like only a couple feet tall. And so I see this one for like Bayonetta 2. And I'm like, hey, you know, how much is this Bayonetta 2 strategy guide? It's apparently some limited edition thing, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, let me look it up. And it's so obvious the guy's just like looking at whatever's on eBay. And then he just pulls up the first, like, he looks through like 3 listings and he's like, oh yeah, that's $45. And it's like, dude, first off, you didn't have to completely disrespect me by just looking at the eBay price for something that, as a store, as a physical brick and mortar store, you should already have something, have a price listed, you know? And second, if you're complaining about having too many strategy guides that you can't offload and you're not taking strategy guides anymore, maybe you want to discount your strategy guides a little bit if you want them out. You know? Like, don't you think that's kind of counterintuitive? To just look at the highest price and say, that's what we're charging you. Oh, these other ones? Nah, don't worry about them. It's ridiculous. So yeah, sometimes you'll run into sellers that do that. They have a whole bunch of stock and then they're just like, and while they're saying, they're browsing eBay for like the top 3 prices and they just pull that. So yeah, if you're going to a place where people don't already have some sort of idea of what something is worth, yeah, it's gonna make it difficult. Going to cons is really, really hard for that. And sometimes you might have to play it a little bit, you know, say like, you know, pull something that you might know is cheap, maybe not shovelware, but like, you know, something that's like a Zack and Wiki or something on the Wii. Maybe you see one of those and you know that's like a $20, $25 game. And you're like, hey, how much is this? And then they say something like $30. you probably already want to go ahead and, you know, be cautious about some of the things they have. Now, that being said, like I said, they can have some really cool and unique stuff, and sometimes it can be worth that price. Sometimes, like I said, you can get that good little bit of haggling in and bring it down a bit. But if something looks unique, it probably is. If something seems like, wow, I haven't seen that before, or I don't know, like some sort of like promotional item, like a sign or something, and they've got it there and it looks really cool, like it's for a game you really like, or it's a cool piece of kit and you can't really get it anywhere else, at least at the time, then, you know, sometimes you gotta bite that bullet. But that's fewer and further between than you might think, and honestly, that's for the most hardcore of collectors. Very much. The guy that I've talked to before, that I bought the magazines for, and was saying that I've seen the prices fluctuate per convention. That guy has... I've shopped with that guy a few times, and he has double-checked eBay for something, but for the most part, when I've asked him about something, he's already had a ballpark idea. And when your guy has a ballpark idea and he doesn't have to pull the phone out first thing just to get the pricing, that's somebody that, you know, it's like, okay, this guy knows his stuff. He knows his stock. He knows what he's got. Which is why you definitely want to test the waters and see if they don't have a price listed. Pull something that you already know the price of and see what they think. Dude, that's cool, Pichu. But again, yeah, they have the same thing going where you can haggle with them, so keep that in mind. Don't come off as aggressive, and also don't lowball them. You can lowball somebody on eBay because, well, one, it's, you know, the internet anonymity, of course, but it's also the fact that something I didn't get to show off is that if something is too low on a best offer, it'll automatically get rejected in the same way as something can be auto bid on. So if I put like $30 down for this best offer on this 3DS, it would probably be automatically declined and saying that your bid was too low for the seller. So so understand that you know, sometimes opening up haggling or trying to haggle innately can come off as a little insulting sometimes. So just say, just be nice about it. Like I said, say, hey, I want to pick these up, but I'm just a little short. Like, how about, like, can we do this for like 20 or 30 bucks off? And, you know, they would probably be willing to do that if it was some big ticket item. But yeah, I mean, you gotta understand that you are talking with people and you are communing with people. That being said, I don't know if I've gone over everything I wanted to. I feel like this was pretty good. I went over a lot. We saw some real crazy stuff. Like the dude's 3DS cradles that definitely looked like his fucking car AC filter or some shit. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like that was a pretty good primer of a lot of stuff. I really don't have too much more to say other than, you know, shop smartly, do research, and don't be afraid to walk away from something. It'll come back unless it's some weird unique item. Like, the only thing that wouldn't come back is something like a display kiosk. You know, like, for example, since Nintendo was getting rid of all the Switch kiosk with Switch 2 stuff, like, sure, something like that probably won't come back, and if it does, it's rare. But for something like, you know, maybe a special edition console, or, you know, a special edition game, that'll cycle back. I mean, like, hell, let's take a look right now. Definitive edition, vinyl. Like, something as... This isn't what I was looking for. Well, okay, the Trinity box is a good example. I was looking for that Monado vinyl that came out with the European version, this thing. Holy shit! Anyway, yeah, these things can come back. The only real time you're missing out, quote unquote, is like if you just don't get it during its initial release, which for a lot of stuff, you know, that's not really possible. I'm surprised the Trinity box isn't going for more, actually, quite frankly. God, does it look cool though. Also, none of these were vinyl, these were all CDs. Anyway, that aside, yeah, just don't be afraid to walk away from the deal, and when you are getting something, or if you are looking at something, just be scrutinizing. Like I said, do your research, understand what you're looking at, and more importantly, understand what you want. Don't get into it and say, like, you know, I want to get everything, or I want to start off and get a bunch of stuff for super cheap, because one, cheap doesn't exist nowadays, and two, there's so much. There's just so much to everything. It doesn't matter what genre you like or what you're into. It doesn't matter if it's games, if it's movies, if it's music, books. Hell, one of my professors in community college collected cars. I don't know how he did that. But yeah, just be frugal, be scrutinizing, and have fun with it. Collecting, at the end of the day, is fun. It's cool to show off the things you got, because everybody's collection is different and unique, and everybody has different goals for their collection. And I'm still not seeing the Monado vinyl other than the one listing. Oh, look, this is one of those things that I was talking about with the stock photo. $80 shipping? Is this sealed? This is sealed! No, it's not. No, yeah, it totally is. So then what the fuck is this? Some bonus code, I guess. That is very true. I mean, like, if your goal is to play games on the actual official hardware and play through it like that, you know, that's a whole different goal from somebody that's just trying to play the games. Like, one of my friends ended up selling a lot of his stuff because after a while he kind of figured, you know what, I kind of just want to play the games. I don't really want to go through all this, you know, all this chaff. And so he downgraded and put a bunch of stuff, or not downgraded, he downsized, excuse me. Put a lot of stuff on like an emulation machine, and is having a lot of fun with it. And he's not really, you know, too upset about having given up some of the stuff that he collected. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Everybody's got their own goals for collecting, and it's important to figure out what you want to do with it. So, anyway, I think that's gonna go ahead and do it for me. Anybody else have anything to say? Any advice they want to give? You're able to play the games now. Just keep in mind that convenience does come with a price. If there's something you want now, you know, just be careful. The Ainthor is neat. It seems really cool. I've seen a few videos on it, and people seem to really like it. For me personally, I've kind of decided that if I'm gonna have something portable to play games with, it's either gonna be my already existing phone that I can just do everything else with, and I just have a tiny little Bluetooth controller, or it's gonna be my 3DS. Oh, that was something I wanted to go over. I don't know how this is gonna look on stream. Give me 1 second. I want to see one site. Okay, how does this look? If I just, like, do that. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so there's one site I wanted to show you guys because a lot of people actually don't know about this site. And was it this? Yes, okay. So check this site out. This is govdeals.com. This is one of a few sites you can use to try and find stuff. This specifically, I believe, as you can see, it is a liquidity services marketplace. I believe this is different counties and different local governments selling stuff just to, well, get liquid out of it, get cash. So if you look for stuff on here, I haven't used this in a while, but it is really cool. If you search, I don't know, Nintendo Switch, then you can sort this in similar ways to something like eBay, where, you know, here's a listing for a PS5 actually in Denver, so I could go get the stuff I wanted. Here's a Wii and accessories in Kentucky. A Switch. You can go ahead and sort this by areas, by like a radius. You can sort this by how do you search this? Because some of these won't ship. Some of these you have to be in the local area to pick it up, and they won't ship whatsoever. But I don't remember how to actually search for that. Online auction. Here's something. So online auction, you know, in Florida, you can bid on this Xbox One X. That will surely appreciate in value over time. You know, here's some other stuff. Or, you know, sale type any, I don't know, 100 miles within, well, I don't fucking know. Either way, this is another site that you can use to find some stuff. Like, you could look up Pokemon stuff too, for example. since that's a very common thing. What the fuck is this garbage? Some of these are expensive because some of these are very obviously worth something. But, I mean, like with the consoles I was showing off. Yeah, some of this is kind of scammy, honestly. But you can look up not just video game stuff here. You can also look up like hardware. You can look up cars. You can look up anything for the most part. You can look up Byzantine chains for $30. Or some key. There's a laptop. There's a bunch of switchblades that... that seems very Kansas. Or, Kansas. Alaska. Why did I say Kansas? Yeah, that seems very Alaska. A 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe. There you go. Somebody needs a car. You got 3 racks. There you go. Anyway, I don't think I have any more to show, but GovDeals is a cool place to shop locally and even peruse online to see what they might have. But I think that's really all I got, quite frankly. It is 9. Where's my phone at? Okay. Yeah, I don't think I really have too much else to add. I've given some of my tips. I hope they help you guys. I hope you guys are, you know, a little more willing and open to, you know, see what you find. See what you see. Play the long game. It'll pay off. And, yeah, just have fun with it. Collecting is fun. Playing around and seeing what you see is fun. Like, I just picked up, I actually just got a finally condition amiibo. The Kirby from Air Riders. I finally got that sealed. And I picked up, hang on, what is it called? I got some keychains too. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, so I picked up, Heavenly Guardian on PS2. This is like a cool, like, shmup kind of game. It looked really neat. I got it for 14 bucks. And then I got some keychains that some local artist made, I guess. They look pretty cool. A Mega Venusaur, a Blue Eyes, Bells and Turnips. I don't know who makes these. Oh, these are 2 different artists, actually. Yeah, I don't know who the hell made these. But they were neat, and I got them for $1 because I was trying to offload them. But yeah, no, seriously, with some of those tips, like, go through and sort through. Like, learn how to search, and things will go way better with your collecting. Understand... you know, you don't have to have a psych degree, but like understand how people work. Don't be afraid to strike out. And stay frugal, honestly. Oh, it's a run and gun? Dude, I saw 4 seconds of gameplay and said, hey, that looks cool, I'm gonna get this. And apparently it came out on the Wii, too. But I got the PS2 version, and, like, the instruction book doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. The disc, I didn't actually take a look at the disc. Damn, that looks good. Oh, no, okay. It doesn't look quite as good as I first thought, but it doesn't look bad. Fun fact, sometimes your local game store might have a disc buffer. So if they have those, see if they let you buff your games. The level 7 will do it for $2 a pop, which is quite frankly a good deal. So I think before, the last time I asked them, I'm pretty sure they did it for $5 each, which that's a fucking ripoff, but those machines are expensive. Anyways, you guys take care. I'm getting out of here. Send punishment on the would be a cool find. Actually, I did just find that the other day. Level 7 was charging too much for it, so I didn't get it. But yeah, that is a cool find, and it actually wouldn't be as bad to find as you might think, Bene. Anyways, my throat kind of hurts. That was a lot of talking in a short time span. So I'm gonna drink the rest of this horchata. I am going to leave. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and host. Is Okami live? Let me see if Okami's live. Dang, she was. She wasn't live for very long. Okay, is there anyone else I want to host? I mean, I was gonna go ahead and give her a host, but she is offline now. And yeah, whatever. I believe my homie Chili Dog is gonna be streaming soon. I don't know if he is or not, but if Chili Dog is streaming, I might go ahead and have him post up in the Discord. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm heading out. You guys have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Hyper beam soon, maybe, of I don't know what. Maybe just chilling. I don't know. But yeah, until then, take care, guys.